Hello, and wow, what we got for you today? This took an absolute age to get together. This lot. We've got a freight train and a double-headed passenger train. All right, and the passenger train ones are these two coupled together. Bullied Merchant Navy superpower. Um, an occurrence you probably never see on the mainline railway, although I think Swanage Railway tried to replicate it the other weekend with their magnificent 8 bullied West Country, Merchant Navy and Battle of Britain Pacifics. So it got me thinking to get mine out, because I'm running for a while. I've had these for about a year or two. And what we've got, 35022, and that is, you can see that, because I can't. Let's have a look on the box. Holland. It is Holland America line. Right. And the logo behind it, I'll get it off the box, is Ellerman Lines. I don't know why it's less clear, but we'll take that in. So yeah, it's hauling a 10 coach, typical Southern Green rake of coaches. My coaches are all immaculate because I don't have any weathered stuff. I don't like it. So we've got this four-wheeler, what do you call those? They were like little parcel vans, I suppose, miscellaneous. Then it's got various bullied coaches, the ones that super detailed ones that Batman brought out about a year or two ago behind it. It's got Maunsell, Richard Maunsell, open coach, another Maunsell corridor coach, another Maunsell open, a bullied suburban coach. You can tell bullied by those sort of windows at the top, a BR Mark 1 brake with the toilets, another bullied brake coach, and another bullied brake coach in the beautiful blood and custard. Notice this isn't first class, got no ones on the doors. Okay, coach in stock is a complete subject in itself. So it's just taking these beautiful bullied coaches, our first class one, and notice I what they call them, lozenges I think they're called, or something like that, those little bits above the window which are typical bullied coach trademark, whereas the Maunsell coach is a little bit more, not refined, but just different, you know what I mean. That's a Maunsell open coach with the red seats. Got two of those, the other one's coming up in a minute. And there's that bully look again with that double sort of window at the top, very distinctive. And there's the typical BR with a yellow denoting first class Mark 1, another bullied second or third class open, and another bullied in the lovely blood and custard livery stock. That's part of rake 847. And look what's coming the other way. That was convenient, wasn't it? This is class 33 and it's numbered D6517. It's a Hellier model or Helgen model, and it's all in with absolutely no problem whatsoever. My, was it 10, 12, 15 wagon freight train made up of a motley crew of wagons, and I knew I could stick that on the front of it and it'd just pull it like it wasn't there. You know, I've I had that Batman logo on it, and there's no way it would pull it, that 460 the other day in the last video. So, but look at that, these are all going around beautifully. All you have to do with this is keep an eye on derailments, because I've got it running really slow because some of these wagons wheels are not right and they probably need changing, especially these are old trying jobs. These two here, they're really old trying jobs, and I've bunged any kind of wheels on those. That's a fairly recent trying. That's a mainline. Talk to the devil. I'll sort that out as it comes around. That's a Batman wagon. Put a weight in that and it won't do that anymore. In fact, I'll show you what I mean, because I'll stop 17 and you'll see what I mean. Here she comes, Mr. Wobble. Mr. Wobble. So we'll stop that about there. And first, just to get back on the rails, like so. Leave that back on. Now let's get a weight. Anything to do, I've got so many bolts and things lying around. Just let's try this. Right, just drop that in there. Right, see. Drop that in there. Let's see what that does. It's probably got a weight in it, and it might have been taken out. I might have taken it out, or someone's taken it, but that's all it needs. It's too light, and also it's not on the track properly. It's still off. Let's get her back on. There's a bit of weight lifting it up at this end. If we shove that like that, in fact we'll put another one in for good measure. Right. Alright, we'll see how that gets on. I'll give it a little bit more juice, just to make it more interesting. Now, the Bully Pacifics, we haven't really looked at them properly, have we? Let's take them in as they slide past. These are beautiful models from Hornby. And they've got a lot of weight on them as well. So this would be super power for a 10 coach train like this. As I say, this is on America line, the etch plate on it. Yeah, you can see that there. It just catches in the lovely badge logo in the middle. 35022 with the crew. And following her is 35029 Element line. Again, these are what you call air smoothed casing. This is in their, let me think now, they were built in this condition for the Southern Railway and kept like that when BR took over in 1948, and they painted them in their green livery. Some of these were seen in the experimental blue. I'm not sure how many, maybe just one or two, but they abandoned that BR and switched to BR green with the early cycle line on the tender. But then sometime in the 1950s they had their Airstream casing removed and were rebuilt, merchant navies. That's why you got locos like Clan Line with a conventional type boiler. Now I can hear a wagon off. I wonder if it's our friend. Sorry to interrupt that little flow of chat there. I definitely heard a wagon off. And where is it? We can find it. Is it our friend? No, it's not. They're not liking it. Funny enough, I can't find anything, but I definitely heard something. Aha! They didn't let me down. That's that kit-built tank wagon. Right, sorry. Back to the Bullies. We might slow that freight train down just a tad. That Helgen doesn't know what it's got behind it. Right, so back to the Bullies. So they were rebuilt at Eastleigh Works. These merchant navies, as they were called, are slightly bigger than the West Country class and Battle of Britain locos. They had bigger boilers and whatnot, and yeah, they were rebuilt into conventional style boiler locos. They had all their air smooth casing taken off, and even the tenders were changed for different types. So I don't particularly like the way Hornby did the conventional boilered locos they brought out. So I was waiting for them to do these, and eventually they did them because I like the cabs on them. I like the way they captured the Bullied cab. Right, these white dots on the front, by the way, you can see those white dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. They're electric lighting. Only Bullied locos had electric lighting in the cabs, so that was a real, you know, innovative thing. You know what I'm trying to say. It's come off again. So yeah, beautiful models though. Look at that. You can just about catch the cab detail on the back of that. And I might stop that freight train because it's giving me so much grief, and just I'll stop the bullies as well and taking the gorgeous detail. The 33s are alright. I mean, they're typical southern region locos. For those of you who used to be on that region, you would be well familiar with these. They were Cromptons as well. So we'll slow her down to a stop. Probably about there. It's got the double red markers and the driver and thing in there. I've managed to light the cab up on this. I'll just show you that. There you go. It's the only time the cab lights will be on when the loco is stationary, as we've discussed before. These Helgens are not fitted with cab lights, so what I've done, I've moved the cab light, the lighting for the marker lights into the cab, and it's lost its marker lights. Right, let's get to consist. Alright, here she comes. Slowly does it. Look at that. I'll just come back a bit as we slow it down and see if we can spot any difference between these two. Okay, whoa. Right, so I've got full control of the camera, don't need to be keeping an eye on the controller. Let's have a look. I'm pretty sure there are subtle differences. Just see if I can see anything. Let's get a screwdriver, just in case. And we'll look at the top as well and everywhere. So I'm just looking at all the markings and everything on this first locomotive. And then looking along here. Can't actually see anything apart from the name and number, of course. Let's have a look. Under there. Just want to have a look. Is there anything under there? No, I can't see anything. Let's have a look on the top. Well, there is one difference. It's got more coal in it than the engine in front. See that? But that's, you can take both of those coal loads out. Hornby have modelled it to do that. I have to check the tenders because sometimes they varied. Let's have a look. Yes, right. Straight away we've got the difference. We've got that sort of going sort of vertical from this angle. Look at the one in front, and there it is going that way, so to speak. You know what I mean? That way. That's slightly different. It might, they are different gallon water capacity tenders, so that may be the reason for that. It may be a bigger or smaller tender. Did they put the sometimes they put it on the back, how much capacity the tender holds, but not on the Bully Pacifics. These are called Pacifics, by the way. Okay, I've got my customary driver and fireman in there, and the electric lights on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the back. So just press a button and I think they light up. I'm not sure because I've never really been in a cab of a Merchant Navy or any other Bully Pacific come to that. Right, so any other differences? Yes, this is different here. Finally found a major difference. So look here. These are, I believe, steam safety valves, right? And I believe that's the whistle. Right, let's go to the second loco. Now you've got the whistle in front and the steam safety valves, which are a little bit different like that behind it. Okay, with this sort of curve. Go back to the front loco, whistle, then steam safety valves like that. So they were different. They were different. So Hornby have carefully modelled that. The whistle and the safety valves in different positions on the top of the loco. Fantastic, Hornby. And I've never noticed that before. I have to look really close at these things because there could be other things that are different. But yeah. Look at the front cab of that. B5029 Ellerman lines. Just out of interest, Ellerman lines actually survives in rebuilt condition, cut in half at the National Railway Museum. All right, I need to go and see that and get film of it because I haven't seen it. But it's there, isn't it? The valve gear rotates on a separate set of track. The work was done by Flying Scotsman Enterprises. Back then, Alan Pegler, when the engine was retrieved from Barry Scrapyard. They did it at a place called Market Overton, I think, and they removed quite a few tons on one side of the loco. So if you go and see it, you'll see all the inside of the boiler, how the water goes, the firebox, everything. The other side is you wouldn't even know that there was anything missing. And there was an electric motor driving it, so you could see it actually work. Well, there you go, bit of trivia. So Ellerman line sort of survives in its sort of cutaway form. All right, it'll never steam again, unfortunately, but we've still got quite a few Bully Pacifics, Merchant Navy types still around. Clan line for one. There's at least two more. Can't think of the names of British India line. I think there's at least 5 or 7 Canadian Pacific. There you go. Anyway, that's your lot, mate. So we're going to call it a day. Hope you enjoyed that. See you later.